welcome back to our channel.
Hello.
So we've been meaning to do this video for probably over a year now. We wanted to do like a Q&A type video just about living in Hawaii and Hawaii itself and things like that. But it just, I don't know why, we just never pulled the plug on it, never did it. So we're taking the time today to sit down and answer the questions. I had gone on Facebook and Instagram a while back and asked a few friends some of the things that they would like to know about Hawaii. So those are some of the questions we're going to be using. And then also I have some frequently asked questions that I get constantly. We'll probably just take turns answering, I guess, or I don't know, jump in when we want to add things.
Sure.
We both have a tendency to talk over each other, so this will be interesting.
This will be very interesting. This is our first
sit down session.
Yeah. Usually it's us doing stuff outside, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Also, you may hear our cat in the background. This is actually her room, and she is now locked outside of it. We closed the door on her, so she's not very happy about that. So you may hear her in the background. Okay, so we'll get started. So the first question I got was from one of my friends, Meg, on Facebook, and she asked, what is the temperature year-round?
It's like 82.
All the time, yeah, all the time.
Unless it's raining or the winds are very high. Like recently we had a little bit cooler temperature. I would say it was like
74.
Yeah, mid-70s.
Which is nice.
It was cold for us. Like I had to put on a sweatshirt. Everyone at work was wearing sweatshirts. It was cold. Cold! I know everybody that's in New England or on the mainland thinks that 70 is glorious, but when you live in 82 degrees year-round, 72 is pretty chilly.
Okay, so next question. This one was hard for us. So it was, what are the top 5 things to do on Oahu? So maybe we'll just go back and forth. I have the list here for us to reference. What I had to say to him was like, okay, if somebody said to you that they have like a 12-hour layover in Honolulu on their way to Tokyo or something, what were the 5 things that you would tell them they had to do that day? There's so many things to do on Oahu, and like I think that we've lived here so long that sometimes like it's hard for us to put on like the tourist hat and think of things. So we took a moment and we thought about it. So you go first with that first one.
One of my favorite things to do, definitely on island, is Kualoa Ranch. They have a 2-hour ATV tour, and if you're outdoors type person, if you like movies, they film a lot of movies there. Jurassic Park was filmed there. Jurassic World, the new Jurassic World movies were both filmed there. The ATV tour kind of takes you on places where you don't normally go when you go to the ranch. They have other tours there. They have a catamaran tour. They have
a jeep
tour. They have like a bus tour.
They have horseback riding.
They have horseback riding. They have what's the other stuff they have there? They have a lot of things.
Yeah, and I think they have the food that they have. I think are a lot of it comes from the cattle that they raise there too.
So they also have cows and everything there.
Yeah,
I mean, they have like a legit farm.
It's like an actual ranch. The cat is literally clawing at the door right now. I just want you guys to know that she is literally clawing at the door. She's
not happy.
The other thing I just wanted to mention is that the ATV tour, for me, I was terrified because I'm not like a big, like I don't like jet skis. I don't like just any of those type of things where you have to like get on an unknown vehicle basically. But for me, I just plunged in, I did it, and it was like one of the best experiences I've ever done. The staff there is phenomenal, and they really read the group, and they go at the pace that they think is most appropriate for the people in the group, and they're there with you every second, and it was just so much fun. Like I could not believe that I enjoyed that because I did it mostly for John because I was like, oh, I know he's gonna love this. This is right up his alley, but it ended up being one of the best experiences I've ever had. And I'll put in some pictures because we got some really cool pictures along the way, so I'll pop that in here.
Governed, so it's not like if you went out and bought an ATV, you can go do 50 miles an hour down a stretch. I think they're governed at like 20.
It was like 18 miles an hour.
Yeah, something
I
like
think
that.
he turned us up to like 22 because, like I said, he reads the group. So once he realized that we felt comfortable, he ended up bumping us up a little bit. We were actually with my parents. My mom's like way more adventurous than me anyway, but you know, even like my mom's age group, it was appropriate to do. I would recommend it to anybody.
Yep.
They have obviously like medical restrictions, so they'll tell you if, you know, you have a heart condition and things like that, not to go on it. But like John said before, they have so many different activities that if you're going with a group of people,
it's a family friendly.
It's a family friendly thing, and like anybody could go basically. Yep. Okay, so I think we spent enough time on that. So number 2, and now I lost my list. Number 2, which is probably one of my favorite things to do, and this is kind of like an all the time thing. It's the Makapuu Lighthouse Trail, and so I have some photos of that. For that, so if you I'll probably link it somewhere. You know how they always go like this, the famous YouTubers, they're like, it'll be linked somewhere, I don't know where, but we went and did
It'll be in the description.
Actually, I think now that I think of it, that was probably I think that was our very first YouTube video, or one of the first.
It was one of the first, yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, so Makapuu Lighthouse Trail, what I love about that one is it's a paved hike, and I use the word hike very loosely because it's more just like a cardio adventure.
It's
like
incline.
It's an inclined hill. There's no like real rough terrain or anything. You can, if you want to use like rough terrain, they have some like trails that lead off down to like tide pools, and then they have one trail that leads up to like another top of the hill there.
If you're gonna do the tide pools, go early, because that itself is a hike by itself. You have to hike to the spot to get to the tide pools, and then once you're down there, you're gonna want to spend time down there.
And then you have to hike back up.
And it's not a paved trail. It is a legit hard hike to do.
But what I like about this one too is that it's another family friendly one. People bring kids, like I'm talking babies and strollers. You can use a stroller on the trail. You can bring your dogs. There's constantly dogs on that trail. I would just recommend bringing like a backpack with water, because of the location, especially if you're going midday, you're like getting beat down by the sun. So generally when we go, we like to go at like 7 o'clock in the morning, because 1, the parking is not bad, and 2, it's like cooler. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, the wind is ripping up there, so you don't feel the heat. It's just gorgeous. And for a hike that is very easy, that's good for like any fitness level, I'd say, the views are breathtaking. You would think that you would have had to climb like a mountain for like 4 days to get the views you get up there. The views are just gorgeous. She's still scratching at the door. We're still there. She's losing it. She's losing it. Sorry, Nala. Love you. Okay, number 3. This is a very special one for us.
Number 3. Why is it special? Oh, I was reading.
I'm about to slap him.
I was reading the wrong one.
Go ahead, John.
Number 3 is the place we got married.
Why is that special?
I skipped 3 and looked down at the 4th one by accident. Waimea Valley. Waimea Valley is so beautiful. We actually got married there. It's also a paved path. It goes all the way up to the back of the valley, where there's a huge waterfall. You can swim in that waterfall. There's lifeguards on duty. There's a very, very large botanical garden all the way up to the waterfall. I took my mom and my sister when they came out here on vacation. I took them up there because that was a must-do. The food options there's one little like quick service restaurant downstairs, and then it's $15 now, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think
I haven't been in a while. It used to be like $5, but it's still very reasonable.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
They also have like cultural activities there too, so you can learn hula. You can learn how to make a lei. They do just like talking story with like an auntie, so she'll tell you like Hawaiian stories and things like that. So that's definitely...
They also have carts. So
Yes.
if you do have a hard time walking, because it's a lot of walking, I'd say it takes like maybe an hour to walk up to the back of the valley.
Wow,
where the
that
waterfalls.
long? Oh my god, it's been a minute since I...
Maybe because we stopped a lot.
Oh, probably.
But
they have like ADD, so it's probably like squirrel. Yeah.
If you're older, or if you have a lot of kids, or your kids are tired, or you're tired and you just don't want to walk, but you want to see the waterfall, you can take. I think it's an additional fee. I'm not sure what it is, but you can take they offer a shuttle up to the falls.
And that, just to let you guys know, is up on the north shore of Oahu. So directly across the street is a really famous beach, Waimea Beach. It has this really cool rock. Sorry, the cat again. There's this really cool rock that you can actually jump off of. That's another one of those things where I thought I'd be like terrified to do it, but once I did it, it was really fun.
All I hear is you keep getting terrified of things.
Yeah, I'm always terrified of things, but I do it. Most of the time, I do it.
Sometimes, not most of the time.
Because he won't stop harassing me about it.
Not most of the time. Sometimes.
But anyways, I was going to just mention that we did a food trucks on the North Shore video, and I think that would be helpful if you were going to Waimea Valley. So we'll link that somewhere. And we'll also try to include all the links to the places down in the description box, and that way, if you wanted to go on, see the different packages they offer and stuff like that. The next one is Polynesian Cultural Center, and I think this is something that is like a must-do if you're going to come here. It's a good way to get a quick view of the culture in Hawaii, I would say, and like the history of the different islands outside of Hawaii that have contributed to the culture here. One of our favorite things that they have there is the Ha Breath of Life show. I don't know if they still have that, but if they do, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Their food... If you're looking for luau food, I've heard that recently they actually do now have like actual authentic luau food. But the time
we went, that was spaghetti.
It was spaghetti and garlic bread. And we were like thinking, what in the world? Because we thought we were going to the Polynesian Cultural Center, so we thought it was going to be more like lau lau and I don't know.
A pig cooked in any moon.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
But
actual luau
no,
food.
it was spaghetti and garlic bread. So I'm hoping that because someone told me at work that they have real actual food now, so I hope that's the case. But if you're looking for like luau food, we didn't mention any luau's on this because we're just like we weren't crazy into luau's, but I'd say like
wait, we didn't put
Paradise Cove.
Oh, that'll be.
Anyways, well, this is a bonus. Paradise Cove, if you're looking for like an actual luau, I would 100% recommend Paradise Cove as your luau spot.
Which is in Kualoa near Aulani, our favorite place to go.
Yes. Okay, so moving on to our very last one. This one's yours, John. That one right there. Can you see it right there?
Kaena Point?
Yeah, Kaena Point.
Kaena Point. So, Kaena Point, you can go two ways to Kaena Point. You can go to the North Shore side, which we haven't really done that often.
We just did that once.
Yeah, we just did it because we were early.
Bored. I think we were bored.
No, we were super early to go meet your parents for lunch.
Yes.
So we drove out to Kaena Point, but it is all the way on the west side. There is no road that goes all the way around the island over there, so the road dead ends and it's a bird sanctuary out there. There used to be a train that used to go around and there was a bridge and all that stuff, but the bridge eroded and I think it fell into the ocean or something. But you can't go out there unless you walk all the way out there. The views are amazing. We'll put a picture in right here of when we last went. It's past Dillingham Airfield. You can drive out there. It takes maybe 30 minutes from Hale'iwa.
Yeah, I would say so.
If you have the opportunity, you have to go to the west side of Kaena Point because the views to get to Kaena Point are absolutely astonishing. And honestly, it's a hidden gem. The road to get out there from the west side, not that many people come to the west side. Tourists and stuff like that. We live on the west side of the island, but it's not heavily tourist. You can drive all the way out there. There's huge, gorgeous beach out there.
And it's like untouched. Like,
yeah, there's no homes out there. There's maybe a few farms, but it absolutely is breathtaking. Anyways,
I think that's enough on that topic. John will ramble for days if we let him.
Yeah, I care about things. I do research for things.
He loves history and all that good stuff.
I know a lot of stuff.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to our next question.
This one.
Okay, so this one was from my friend Ruba on Facebook. And this is a very, very good question. I really like this question. What is there to combat island fever?
Outer Islands?
Yeah, I think Outer Islands is probably the least expensive, most convenient way to combat island fever. And I just want to kind of explain what she means by island fever, because some people might not know. When you live in a beautiful place like paradise, you think that life is so perfect and everything is wonderful, and it surely is most of the time.
It is.
But you get to a point where, like, for the island we live on Oahu, and there's only about 2 hours worth of driving you can really do. We live on it's a very heavily populated island, but it's actually pretty small compared to like Maui and Big Island. It's a smaller island, but just more heavily populated. Yeah. So you do run out of things to do. We don't have a lot of like the mainland things that you might be like used to. We don't have amusement parks.
We have a water park?
We have a water park.
We'll do that video soon. It
does sometimes get a little like, okay, like I go to work, I come home, I go to work, come home, and that's my life. And yes, the beaches are beautiful and everything like that, but you kind of want a road trip every once in a while. You want to just explore. You want to see new things. When you live on the mainland, that's a possibility. You could drive like 4 hours and find a new city that you've never seen before, but that's not how it is here. Yeah. We've been to every single city or town that there is on this island multiple times and seen everything there is to see there, I would say. For the most part.
But the best part about what we're saying, going to outer islands, is probably one of the best ways to kill island fever. It's not because we're going from island to island. It's each island is totally different.
100%.
I mean, you go to Big Island, some of the parts of Big Island, you feel like you're on the mainland. It's like the size of Rhode Island. It's huge. There's
even one part of the Big Island, which is where we hope to retire someday, that reminds me of like, I don't know, Ireland or something, because there's just those like rolling green hills, and
beautiful.
It's just gorgeous, and that's what we love about going to Outer Island. And Outer Island is usually about, give or take, like $120 round trip, I'd say.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, 120, 150, depending what time you go during the year, because obviously there's like peak seasons and things like that.
Or if there's like, a volcano erupting or something. It's a little bit cheaper to go to Big Island when the volcanoes erupting.
They also do package deals for Kama'aina, and Kama'aina means that you're local here, you live here, you have a state ID. So there's a lot of packages and things like that where you can get like the rental car, the hotel, and the flights for like a package price. So that's nice. And then, I mean, the other thing that I was thinking of, and it's going to sound funny because we're on YouTube, but is watching YouTube videos. Every time, John and I personally are addicted to Disney.
We have a problem.
And so when I get my like Disney withdrawals, the first thing I want to do is just watch a bunch of YouTube videos of people going to Disney parks. Yeah. But I would imagine that would work for anything. Like, if you're really into like hiking, if you're really into, I don't know. There's people who shop, you know what I mean? You can watch people's shopping hauls on...
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
There's YouTube channels of people going out shopping.
And hauls. Hauls is like a thing. So,
what is hauls?
When you come home with like a bunch of crap and they
like
show
what they
off what they bought. Yeah.
But that would just make me jealous, because I would say I would want that.
I want that, but when we live in Oahu, most of the places don't ship to us, so cannot, And then the other thing is, I was going to say, visiting a different spot that you don't see as often. So, like when we drove up to Kaena Point on the North Shore, we had never actually done that before, I don't think.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, okay, we have. But we hadn't done it in a while, so it felt like a new thing. One of the things I like about Oahu, too, is that if you go to different areas on the island, you can get a touch of the other islands at those spots. So once you kind of get used to it, you get over it. You know what I mean? Whatever. Okay, next question from another Megan on Facebook. She asked, what makes Oahu specifically worth the trip? Because she had been to Maui and not Oahu. So she wonders, what specifically about Oahu? So besides the top 5 things that we mentioned earlier, like I just said, I think that what I wrote down in my notes was that there's a little bit of each island here. So depending on the type of vibe that you're looking for, a little bit. But depending on the vibe you're looking for, like for me, like the ATV tour thing is something that you would see on Kauai.
Yep.
Yep. And then There's a helicopter tour just like the Big Island. But you're not going to see a volcano.
Yeah, the helicopter...
What's like the Big Island that we could compare?
Here?
Yeah. I'd say like the country stuff. If you
maybe
like,
South Point is kind of like... South Point on Big Island is similar to
the south side over here.
To the... Well,
like the lighthouse area?
Yeah.
That I would say that's correct. Because the rock texture changes over there.
Yeah.
And then Maui... I would say that if you like Maui and you've gone to Lahaina, Lahaina is one of the most popular parts of Maui, and I love Lahaina. That's probably one of my favorite places. They've recently renovated like all of Hale'iwa, and we have a video for that too. But that reminds me so much of Lahaina now. So there we go. We just figured it out. The other islands, just to let you know, there's other islands. There's Lanai, Molokai.
Never been.
There's 2 of the islands you can't even go on. One of them is invite only, and then the other one is like a nuclear.
So Koho'olawe is nuclear. Right?
Yeah, I think so. And
that's the nuclear. Nihihau, you have to be invited. They're all Hawaiian.
Kumus, yeah. They're like, is that what it's called, Kumus? I think they're like the teachers. So you have to be invited to go out there. I sincerely apologize for any person that we're insulting right now because we're the worst, but we're unfortunately not very culturally savvy on that, and I sincerely apologize. The other thing that I would say is that it's like I mentioned earlier, it's a smaller island. So what a smaller island means is it's easier to do multiple things in one day.
Yeah.
So if you, like I said at the beginning, if you had only 12 hours on Oahu, that would be a possibility to accomplish most of the major things. Yeah. If you're coming here with like a big group, a big family, I'd say there's a little bit to do here for everyone. So even if you guys needed one day to split up because one group of people is more adventurous and they want to do the ATV tour, another group wants to go kayaking, and another group wants to just go to the Pearl Harbor exhibit, that's fine. There's so much here to do, and then you can get together at night and go to a luau or something. That's what I like about here. I think that you could probably do similar things on other islands. It would be harder for you guys to get back together at the end of the day because you would just be so spread out. Whereas on Oahu, it's like literally the furthest you can drive, like I said before, is about 2 hours. If you are going to an outer island for a honeymoon, family vacation, whatever, if you can get a layover in Oahu, even if it's only 2 days, do it. Because there's
stuff to do here.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do here. From Mackie on Facebook, he wants to know what are some non-nature activities to do.
On nature?
Yeah, so things like...
You're on an island of nature.
You're going to be okay, John. There's things you can do. I have a list for you. So apparently I'm going to be helping people out here.
Yeah.
So the first one is museums. Hello, museums.
Oh, Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, Pearl Harbor. And one of our favorite things we did here was the Pacific Aviation Museum. That was really fun.
That was also...
Another one, I don't know if this is actually considered non-nature, but I'm just going to throw it in there anyway because there are some parts that are non-nature, is the Byodo-In Temple, which I'll link the video down below. I would say this is borderline because it is kind of like nature, but I don't think it's like, it's not a hike, it's not like a beach. It's different, you know, and I think it's like you get a touch of a culture that is, it's Japanese culture, it's not like Hawaiian culture. So if you're looking for something different to do, Byodo-In Temple. Another thing we love to do is visit resorts. So that's not really nature. I thought that was a good one. We like to just resort hop. So if we're like today we're going into Waikiki real quick. We'll probably like walk around a hotel. We love to stop at Aulani and look at the gift shops, things like that.
That has nothing to do with our Disney addiction.
Yeah.
That's our Disney fix.
Another one that I just heard about that we haven't had a chance to do yet, but I just wanted to mention in this video, is there's this place called Epic Aloha. And it's it's a photo museum.
Where is this?
I don't know, it's in town. And it's like $38 or something to go in. But every room is themed differently, and then you can get epic Instagram pictures. It's specifically for you to go get epic Instagram pictures.
Wait, so I have to pay $38 to go take pictures of myself?
That's right. Okay, so those were all the questions that I got from friends. So now I just have some frequently asked questions. This one I want you to answer.
Okay.
Okay, so what made us move to Hawaii? I did want to just preface by saying we moved here in 2009, in case anyone was wondering.
So I came here on vacation.
In 2007.
when her parents decided to move out here, we came with them on vacation. I fell in love with Hawaii. We moved back. I wanted to move out here. As soon as I came here one time, I wanted to move here.
And mind you, I've been here once a year basically my whole life. My parents, we'd always come at least once a year.
This one over here wanted nothing to do with moving here. She wanted to raise kids with the different seasons, the snow, fall. I get that, but I was also tired of working and living in the snow and dealing with cleaning off our cars and dealing with the dirt and the grime and the salt. And everyone that lives on the mainland that has winter time knows what I'm talking about. We had an opportunity to move out here because our parents offered for us to stay with them until we found a place. So I really wanted to take them up on that. It wasn't until we had one of the worst winters that we had ever had that we were living in New England. She got into like 9 car accidents.
Yeah, they were all like little car accidents.
Yeah, like it was black ice everywhere. Yeah. I was constantly getting phone calls. She lost control of the car. It slid down and hit a guardrail, or someone else hit her, and the cops are treating her like nothing was ever wrong, and it was her
because
fault.
I mean, I get why cops do this, but when you're during the snowstorm, if you get in a car accident, they want you to just keep going. Yeah. Like no matter how emotionally unstable you are, they're like, you got to keep going, you got to keep going, because they can't have a bunch of cars just piling up on the side of the road. I had a Mustang and it was rear wheel drive, so that was part of the problem. But that winter was just horrific, and I don't think anybody was prepared for that winter. And like he said, people were hitting me. It wasn't just me hitting stuff. Like I'm not like the world's worst driver. I'm not the best, but I'm not the worst. But people were hitting me and stuff, and it was literally like the cops just did not care, and they were just keep going. And I totally get why they were doing that. Right. I do. So but emotionally, it was like so hard because I'm like, I need to pull my stuff together, because if I don't, then I'm going to get another accident because I'm so nervous.
We got into one car accident on the freeway. That was pretty bad.
That was the worst. I woke up with an airbag in my face because I had fallen asleep. I got him for his birthday or something floor seats at a Celtics game. Yeah. We had never been to a Celtics game. That was when like Paul Pierce was playing, and they were like the sickest team ever. And we were driving up.
It was a blizzard, and they told everyone not to go on the freeway, but we were determined. And we were on the freeway. We weren't traveling fast.
Why did we take the Mustang and not the Silverado? That's what I want to know. Because he had a Chevy Silverado. So why did we do that? Who knows?
Yeah,
we were dumb kids.
We were young.
Dumb kids.
We ended up lost control, hit the guardrail, and then I think it was like the following morning we both woke up, and she just looked over at me and she's like, "Let's move to Hawaii." And when she said that, it was literally
like a month later.
We packed up everything we could. We got whatever we needed for our dogs. We sold the cars. We sold everything we didn't need. We packed up, and we were out here in a month, and that was one of the best decisions we had made.
I say it all the time now that I would never be brave enough to do that now, because
looking back is crazy.
We had like no money, like literally no money, and thankfully we had my parents to stay with for a few months while we got our job situated. He didn't have a job to come here. Yep. I only had a part-time position that I transferred. I used to work for Best Buy. Yeah. I transferred over. I had to step down to part-time because they didn't have any full-time positions.
Which didn't last long.
No.
It was full-time pretty soon after.
Yeah, it was.
It was interesting. I don't know if I could do that again, but...
Yeah, but that's why we moved to Hawaii. A horrific snowstorm in beautiful New England. Yeah. But it was the best. I'd say that's the best decision we've made. I get, in case anybody was wondering, this is another question I get a lot, is if we're ever homesick. I'd say I'm way more homesick than he is, especially as soon as like September hits, I get very, very homesick. Yeah. And I stay homesick till about like February.
This is true.
And I know that I don't want to be in snow, and I know that like I like the weather here and everything, but I still just miss the atmosphere, and like it feels like Christmas here. It's starting to feel more and more like Christmas, but there's something missing. Like it's just not always home, you know what I mean? So I miss my family and friends and things like that, but something like, just that crisp smell in the air when September hits and fall's about to be there, that's probably one of the things I miss the most. And I miss being able to just drive wherever the heck we want. Okay, next question that I get a lot is, what is your favorite beach? So what is your favorite beach?
My favorite beach. So for private wise, I like the beaches like on the west side.
Yeah, because they're not as
it's not
crazy.
As tourist populated. So for people that live here, or even tourists that want to come here, it's not as busy. But as far as like if I wanted to go on an inner tube and go cruise in the water for hours on end, that would be Kualoa.
And I'd say my favorite beach is Kualoa.
Yeah, I do that.
Because the parking is easier there.
If you go early enough.
If you go early enough, it's easier there. We have a video for Kualoa too. We have a lot of videos. It's a man-made lagoon, so you get the fresh ocean water, but it's flat.
Yep.
And so you can take out like tubes and things like that. And the beaches are well kept. So, yeah. Okay, and then very last question. John, isn't Hawaii so expensive to live in?
Yes and no. We don't have a heating bill.
That's number one.
We have an AC bill. We don't have to change our wardrobe 3 times.
You're literally reading in the order of that. I wrote it down and you're not even looking at it. That's amazing. Because I didn't share this with him. Okay, go ahead.
The wardrobe thing for me.
That's the biggest thing.
I mean, she always worked inside. I always worked outside. And when you work outside,
you'd have to have thermals.
Yeah, I mean, I used to have to, depending on what time of the year it was, it was jeans and thermals, or jeans, thermals, and Carhartt thick pants and a giant coat just to keep warm, because it didn't matter what the temperature was. We had to go to work. And that stuff's expensive. In that sense, I think it's cheaper. We save because we're not... what I'm wearing now, I wear year round. I don't have to worry about changing outfits for different seasons. But as far as like produce and stuff, it is a little bit more expensive.
Yeah. I think you just have to get a little more creative with, like, for example, we don't keep milk and orange juice in our house at all because it's expensive. It's like, it's $4.99 for a gallon of milk, and John is like a lumberjack and he drink, like, if I keep a gallon of milk in the house, it'll be gone in like 2 or 3 days. So I would just say you just have to get creative with it, and it kind of makes it fun. Like, sometimes what we'll do is we'll be like, oh crap, we don't have anything for dinner, like where are we gonna go out to eat? And then we're like, no, wait a second, like, we have food in this house. So then it makes it kind of fun, because like the other day we had nothing to eat, and then I was like, well, let me just go look. I go in my pantry, I go in my freezer, and I realized that I have stuff to make like a Spanish rice casserole. So I just threw it together. It took me like a half hour, if that, and it was delicious. So
well, I mean, there's ways. So like another thing is like on the mainland, so I used to have to drive sometimes hours to work. And that's a lot of gas.
And same with me. One of my commutes was like an hour and a half, and I had to pay tolls. And the gas and the maintenance on the car.
Here, with no traffic, depending on where it is, I mean, 20 minutes we're at work. Yeah. We also have solar. Solar is big in Hawaii.
And the sun's always out. It's not like where it gets dark at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, the sun is out from
the
like
solar
7 to 7 pretty much.
But I mean, one of the things that I wanted to bring up too, and I don't mean to insult anybody by saying this, but I think one of the things that I noticed in Hawaii is there's not as much pressure for material things. So like on the mainland, like when I lived in Massachusetts, I always kind of felt like I had to have like a BMW. I had to have like a designer purse. Here, it's like you could have millions of dollars and be driving like a Honda Civic from like 1991, and no one would care. Like people literally do not care about what you wear or any of that. So I don't ever feel the need to be like, oh, I have to buy certain things to keep up with people. Yeah. It's not like that here. Yeah. So if you want to drive a car for 30 years, nobody's going to say shit to you. So I think that's a big thing. But anyways, so those are all of the questions that I had for this one. I'd love to do this again in the future if we missed something that you're maybe hoping to hear. So please leave a comment down below if there's another question you want us to answer, or if you need clarification on something. I just want to say, just blanketed, that these are like our opinions. So I know that right now we're in a culture where everything is offensive, and we don't mean to offend anyone. They're just our personal opinions from our personal experiences, and that's it.
And as always, if you guys like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't subscribed yet. Live aloha, guys.